Evan, Dan talked about your ability to kind of stay level-headed when things weren't always going your way. Career night tonight. Just what does it feel to finally have this type of performance on such a big stage?
Um, Honestly, like I mean, we so connected that we got a big saying that. Oh my bad, my fault. But we got a big saying. It's like we all connected, and everybody just wait for their turn. Everybody do their job, and things will pan out. So that's all I was doing, just doing my job on the team, and tonight was just a night.
Jake Trotter with ESPN. For all you guys, what did Dylan show you tonight, and what can you take from this going forward, having a quarterback that played like that in these key moments?
I mean, he showed toughness. I mean, he went out there and gets a top two opponent and beat him. So, I mean, that shows a lot right there. I mean, he's competitive. He's willing to compete every time he's get on the field. And the poise that he had the entire game was unbelievable. So,
yeah, just like Tez said, he's a competitor. It doesn't matter which way the game's going. He always has a level head as well. So we need that from the leader of our team.
Yeah. No, go ahead. You good. Go ahead.
Ryan.
Jordan, obviously, first couple of weeks, offensive line faced some challenges, but last couple of games they've been able to get a good push for you and for the other running backs. I'm wondering, just your thoughts on their play, and then your desire to play with physicality yourself.
Oh yeah, like I said last week, my stats and whatever y'all see, that's just a reflection of them and how they play. So they had a good game today, and I think that's just a testament to what we've been doing in practice. We practice way harder than we've ever practiced before, so it shows on the field.
Front left, James.
For both Tez and Evan, they hadn't allowed a 30-plus yard pass all season. You guys take the top off 4 times. Can you walk me through for Evan the 69-yarder and for Tez your touchdown, where they both come against Burke, and that's probably the highlight reel for your NFL draft stock. What were those plays like, and why were you guys willing to do what other teams hadn't been able to do this season against them, and really for even last season?
Honestly, they always told us this week that they haven't really seen anybody like us. And, when you look at the film from their past games, that's the truth. So, we just went into this game knowing, we are who we are, and they ain't seen us yet. So, we going to give them a show.
Bums Bums away. That's all it is.
Back middle, Aaron.
I know all three of you are on offense, but when the defense went out there at the end, if you guys could describe kind of what was going through your head and how you felt when that defense went out there on the last drive, how would you describe it?
Y'all want me to go first? Obviously they're a good offense. They're not number 2 for a reason. So I mean, I feel like our DBs stepped up to the challenge for their receivers. I mean, all week they've been talking about their receivers and how good they are. But look at our DBs. Look at Brandon Johnson. Look at Nico Reed, Tasheem Johnson, Jabbar Muhammad, Kobe Savage. Look at those guys. They played outstanding tonight. Kudos to the defense.
No.
Left, Brett.
Go ahead.
Waiting for more. If you guys want to say more, go right ahead. But my question for you guys is, look, there's been a lot of big games here at Austin Stadium over the years. Tez, you've played in quite a few, Jordan yourself as well. Where does this game rank in your guys' eye in the grand scheme of how many big games have been here at Austin Stadium?
I feel like for me, this is the number 1. I mean, we played Washington at their place, and it was loud and electric, but it was nothing like tonight. Like you said, I played in a lot of big games, but this is my number 1 big game I ever played in. College game day. And for me, I never won on college game day. I always lost on it. So it was really big for me.
Yeah, it was probably the biggest game I done played in Austin. That's all I can really say about it. Pretty big game.
For me personally, I say I played in the Alabama A&M game my freshman year, and it was pretty rocky with Saban and coach. But this was up there for surely. Like it's a one of a kind environment. It's my first time being in Austin. You feel me? This season, like you feel me. So yeah, they brought it for sure.
Back left, Matt.
Jordan, Dan described your running style as you're pissed off. Where does that come from? And I guess just how do you get to that mentality as a running back?
I feel like I've always had that mentality. You know, I'm trying to be the most physical person on the field at all times. You know, offense and defense. So that's really where it comes from.
Is that a right description of your style?
Yes, sir.
Ralph Russo from The Athletic. Evan, before you make a decision to come here, they already have a number one receiver and a bunch of other guys. You know, when you play a game like this and it turns out the way you want, do you feel like you sort of like, okay, now I understand. Like now I'm showing people why I came here.
Honestly, like as I said before the season, I was really just trying to play my role because, you know, at A&M, we never really just got to win as much. So, you know, I was really just going into the season like, yeah, as you said, we got a wide receiver 1, and I respect them. Like, you feel me? Like, I didn't want to come in and step on no type of toes, but I did want to come in and contribute, like, if that makes sense. So when I have nights like this, it makes me feel good because I know that they're probably happy that I could contribute the way I can, you feel me? So, yeah.
On the right, Bree.
Tez, before the game, you said, hey, the crowd's going to be a factor. Was it?
Most definitely. It was as loud as I ever heard Austin. I mean, they contributed well. I mean, it was
More than well.
You feel me? Like, I don't know how loud. It was very loud at one point. You couldn't even hear the person next to you. But shout out to the crowd, the student section. It was unbelievable. They was packed before we even got there and ran out for a team stretch and stride. So we was already ready to go before they even got here, I feel like. So.
Was there a moment you felt like it was the loudest?
When they got the ball back after we went down and kicked the field goal, and he backed up and he fell, like basically a sack. That right there, that was loud, and a couple PIs when Jeremiah Smith pushed off trying to get open. So, nope. Yeah, that was loud too. So, yeah.
Same row left here.
For both receivers, you didn't have Trey there in the second half. I'm curious what you thought of Justice and how he played. That was probably the most snaps he's played. How was he out there for you guys?
Man, we love Justice. Yeah. I call him Justice. That's just how his name's spelled.
His name.
But hey, it's my thing. It's my thing. But you feel me? But you know, we already knew. You feel me? Like J-Lo was gonna step up, like if his number was called. But we definitely like felt some type of way when Tracy went down for surely. So yeah,
just being able to next man up type of thing. Obviously Trey is a big factor for our offense. That physical body, that angry runner when he get the ball in his hands too. So it was when Justice stepped up and played a really big role and got way more snaps than he could. We believed in the whole step of the way. You can tell a little bit he was a little winded when he was out there. We just kept going to him and telling him like, "Hey, fight through the tiredness. Like we're gonna need you." But he showed in practice every single day that he can go out there and play. I think Justice probably one of the best route runners I've seen in college. That guy is unbelievable. He's untouched. He's unmatched. His energy when he comes into the facility is really great. You don't catch too many receivers like that, or too many guys that come in the receiver room or in a facility. Period. With the positivity he has as a player, he's definitely one of those guys that every receiver can learn from in our room. Whether that's routes or how he taking notes or whatever he says out of his mouth. So we really admire Justice in his game and the person he really is.
And he is by far the smartest receiver in our room.
By far.
By far.
By far.
School-wise and football-wise.
No cap.
Front left, Max.
Max Torres scooped duck on 3 for Tez. Obviously a huge week for the program. Game day in town, a handful of national programs as well. Primetime game, all the eyes are on you guys. What do you think the college football world learned about the Ducks in a win like tonight?
I don't really care about what the football world say. I mean, they didn't believe in us at first. Why believe in us now? So feeble to whoever.
That is Dan. That's Dan saying.
Back right, Bree.
The three of you are all leaders on this offense, and when you're having successful drives that, stutter out because of special team stuff, whether it be missed field goals, missed extra points, 2-point conversions, how do you not let that snowball into the offense's production? What are you saying in there to keep the energy high in the huddles?
Just believing in one another. Missed a field goal, okay, next play. Like, it was a next play mentality the whole entire game. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. We knew they was going to score points, but we were going to take a jab away. I think that was the motto this week, jab away. Like, jab away until we can throw that knockout punch. I mean, obviously they were a good football team, but we wasn't really we were trying to be the team that make the least mistakes. And obviously, I think they had way more penalties than we had, and we played a lot more cleaner. The detail showed up at the end, and I think that's pretty much what it is.
We also do our little keys to victory before the games, and where we all pinpoint each position group what we're gonna try to do to contribute to the win. And poise is definitely the top priority for all of us. So even if something does go wrong, it is next play mentality.
Back middle, Brenda, last question.
As I just think of your journey in particular, 2 years ago, if someone would have told you that you would be scoring a touchdown in the first ever top 5 matchup at Autzen and helping lead your team to a victory, what would have you said?
You don't really get too many of those. Sorry, my bad. That question was really good. You don't really get too many of these. You dream of playing in games like this, but for it to actually happen, especially for my journey, it's never been easy for me. Obviously, it's been a battle and still is a constant battle with what people believe or what people say about me. And I take every day as in I walk in the faith of God. Each step I take, just being able to, I'll definitely tell you I wouldn't believe you for sure, but now that I'm here, I don't take it for granted just being in Autzen Stadium. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows in here Oregon was my favorite team growing up. I mean, just playing for it and putting on the O each week, practice, game, or whatever, it's still so real for me. I still think it's a dream. I still feel like I'm living a dream, and it's gonna continue to be that way. And when I leave here, it's definitely gonna be way more emotional than what I just got right now. So.